Hey everybody, this is Tom Sorcy here, back to talk about another wonderful Storm bowling ball. I have a special guest today, Rotogrip staffer John Szczerbinski. Say hello to the people, John.
Hi, everyone.
Today we are going to talk about the Code Red. John is going to be here in the next few videos to help us get another perspective about some of these balls, so you don't have to listen to me drone on and on over and over again.
Thank goodness.
I know, it's probably annoying people by now. So let's just get right into it here. Code Red is the R2S hybrid cover stock. John, what other balls have that?
The R2S Hybrid, well, I guess my favorite one is the High Road.
Of course, the greatest ball of all time.
Yes.
With the Rad 4 core now, if I'm correct, that's the same one in the Code Black, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're a more analytical, smart, sciencey guy about this stuff, so let's talk about RG numbers. What do you see just from looking at these? What does it tell you to expect?
For me, it's just going to expect something that's going to be more on the medium range, something that's not going to be super long down the lane and flippy, something that's going to be a little bit more in the mid lane, something that's going to want to rev and kind of roll a little bit, and then the differential just kind of shows it right there too, that, you know, even though the maximum differential is 060, we're kind of pushing the limits with 058 and 15 and 056 and 16. So that just means it's going to have a potential to flare quite a bit. So basically flare just means more overall hook. And then just going back with the cover stock, the R2S Hybrid just kind of wants to help get down the lane a little bit further with save some continuation down the lane.
So that's kind of an interesting combination. So you have this R2S hybrid that's a little cleaner and a little quicker, but also this pretty strong core that wants to flare, that wants to turn over. So
for sure.
Let's take a look at yours here real quick. So you said that yours is 60 by 5 by 35. For people that don't quite understand those numbers, what does that mean to you?
First off is 60 degrees, which is the drilling angle. So basically that just means the smaller it is, the earlier it's going to rev, and then the larger it is, the longer it's going to get down the lane before it wants to start revving.
So 5-inch pin, most of your balls are kind of drilled this way, right? The first one that you drill are all basically similar to this, 5 inches above the ring finger?
Yes, sir. Everything I like to do is just kind of have that starting point. So this is kind of my normal favorite layout. And with the 5-inch pin, I get a decent amount of flare out of it. I don't want it to flare too much so it's unusable. So I kind of, go like 5 inches because it's something where I'm able to still use it in the mid lane, but if I do need to get a little bit further left, I'm able to shape it a little bit more down the lane because it's still flaring enough.
And then it kind of gives you options if you need to drill a second one to kind of go off of there one way or the other, right?
100%, and that's the whole point. I have like a baseline that I go off of and can manipulate it either way, up, down, left, right, whatever. So
we're bowling on Athens 40 foot. It's a pretty flat pattern at a pretty high friction house, as these people have seen before watching me throw videos at Brad Angelo lanes. So let's just get right into some of your shots here. What was your initial reaction just on the first couple of balls that you threw here?
To me, watching this ball, I feel like it's definitely more of like a medium type friction ball. Not super high, but not, definitely not on the low side. And then it kind of fits in that medium to medium quick category. When it comes to response times, I feel like it's best used in that medium to medium quick, because every time I started to get further left, or even with my previous experience with this ball, I feel like it's not very usable when I start to get left and try to shape it as much. When I want to stay a little bit further right and keep my angles more in front of me, that's where I feel like this ball shines.
So basically, as you tend to go left, what do you see? What does it tell you when you try to get in and open your angles up?
What I see is that this ball just tends to be either a little long or a little sensitive to any oil down the lane, or it just seems to be too early and doesn't really want to push to the right, kind of like that shot right there where I 310. That's what I feel like at times.
Does it seem like, asymmetrical core, if it reads a lot of friction in the front, that core wants to stand up? It has a hard time getting down through it, even with the hybrid cover stock on there?
100%, especially with the core being as big as it is. It just wants to start digging and start reading.
Even that trip 4 right there, that one really started to make its motion.
Absolutely.
It looks like it's relatively quick, but not crazy quick, not like high road pearl quick, but you can definitely see the core want to stand up in the mid lane and start to make a quicker but still smooth-ish motion.
Yes. And that's where I feel like that core is just so dominant in this bowling ball that if you try to get left, you really better make sure you're still kind of throwing it hard, or you have enough oil.
Help?
Yeah, or you have oil in front, so help it kind of fall down a little bit easier.
So the ball that we compared it to, obviously, is the Code Black. Similarly drilled Code Black. You'll see it right here. The difference is that the Code Black has the R2S Pearl cover stock, so we would imagine at the very least that it's going to create less friction, correct?
Yes, that's the number one thing.
So with this R2S Pearl, we know that it's on the High Road Pearl, which is the quickest response ball that we make, at least that I think anybody makes, really. But looking at some of the shots here, it's also very, very, very weak comparatively as a cover stock, correct?
Yeah, and that's the one thing that I feel like I noticed using Code Black was that it tends to just really want to get down the lane. So that's where I feel like, again, that this ball is best used when we're still keeping our angles in front of us and that we're really not trying to make it change direction too much.
So this is kind of what I talked about in the Code Black video. You have this R2S Pearl cover stock, which makes you think that you're going to be able to use it like a High Road Pearl, be able to get left and open up your angles and do that sort of thing. But you have this cover stock that needs friction, and then you have this big core that wants to stand up and start to turn over, and it's kind of a hard combination to use because if you need friction and the ball sees early friction, it has a hard time getting through it because of the big core, even with that cover. Like that split right there, it just had no chance getting through it, but we've also seen shots that kind of blew through it a little bit too.
Yes.
So tell me what you think, but my opinion of the Code Black and the Code Black video was it's better used as more of a medium response ball, a stronger layout, maybe a little more surface, trying to keep your angles closed instead of trying to fit it in real nichey when you're trying to stand left and hook it and try to make it work that way.
100%, and that's kind of where I feel like the core, that Rad 4 core, is so strong that it just doesn't want to fall down the lane very easily. So that's where, when it comes into play, I feel like you better have some ball speed and you're staying a little bit further to the right and your ball is definitely more in front of you. So absolutely, like Tom was saying, a stronger layout, maybe a little bit closer pin distance, or even like a bigger VAL angle, the second one, so it just is a little bit slower response, and then even some surface on it just to make sure that it is that medium ball, so you're not going to get too much volatility down the lane. You're not going to have one go through the face, or you're not going to have one blow through it. Just something that you're able to keep, a consistent and controllable ball motion down the lane.
Harder to cross pairs through transition using it as a quick response ball.
100%. That's the best way to say it, I would say.
So this Code Red, I've been able to use it a lot of different environments. I think it's very usable, but this one has really kind of worked its way in my arsenal pretty quickly. How about you?
Oh, absolutely. I feel like it's definitely that medium friction, medium to quick ball that I can use after the bigger balls that we have, the ones that are stronger, the ones that want to read the lane a little bit earlier. So that's where I kind of go after that. Once those balls tend to get a little too slow and I start kind of plaque 10 in here and there a little too much, that's where I can go into something like this Code Red, and I'm able to keep it in front of me, but yet it still just wants to have enough motion, or enough strength, or however you want to call it, continuation down the lane just to get through the pin, so I can carry that 10 rather than leave a weak one.
And then once this Code Red has a problem getting through the front friction, or itself begins to plaque, then you can make your way into some symmetric options, high roads, IQ tours, things like that, right?
Absolutely.
So it's a good one right in the middle. So that'll make it easy here. Obviously, medium friction factor like we talked about, not too strong, not too weak. It's pretty good right in the middle. And medium quick response time is its best usability, at least as far as we've been able to use it so far. So I hope you guys liked having John on, because I like having John on to make my job easier so I don't have to talk as much. Obviously, you can find me where you always find me, facebook.com/TMSourcey, @TomSourcey, youtube.com/TomSourcey. John is also always available, facebook.com/John Szczerbinski athlete. You're going to want to have to type that in one letter at a time because his name is really hard to spell. Or @John_SZCZ. John, thank you very much for helping me out. Do you have any more to say before we hit the road?
No, thank you for having me, and I can't wait to do some more videos.
Look out for the next few that come out. John will be on them. Coming up next, we're going to do the matchups, Pearl and Solid. So, again, thanks for listening. If you have any questions, comments, leave them in the YouTube comments or find us on Facebook or Twitter. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.